I've got a new job now as a sales coordinator for a company. So I manage the whole sales team within the company. Kiwi owned, started about 9 years ago. Well, pretty straightforward for the wash buildings. So I look for clients, I do client meetings to look for businesses, body corporates to help out and maintain their building. Main difference there, it's more just work basically. There's some funs as well, but at some point, at the end of the day, you still think of the work as heavy load as you can get compared to here, wherein you just leave work and literally you can go out the door and just don't think about it after a while, and then come back tomorrow and then think of it. But in the Philippines, it's just if you fail in the Philippines with such low salary, you won't be able to survive.
I feel really comfortable because I have like some freedom in my job now. So what I have to do, I have to contract coaches to work with me. So I'm working in a company running like football programs in schools. So basically my job, I have to organize that programs. I have to contract coaches to work with me in the programs. So basically I have to do that job now. I have to contract people. And in my case, for example, I don't make any difference between like people from other countries, maybe like Kiwi people. So it's just to make a good team, because finally Kiwi people, maybe they have the advantage, or English people, they have the advantage of the language. But maybe if you contract a Latin person, maybe they struggle with the language, but they have a passion of football. They can do a good job, but you have to mix all the best things, so all the people who is working with you.
It was a tough one. It was what do you call this? A cleaner in a hotel, room attendant to be exact. Tough job. You need to clean the room as big as this for 30 minutes, and you have to straight in the bed, vacuum everything. It's physical, it's mental, it's everything. And then, wake up 4 a.m. in the morning just to start. Positive, obviously, that's a job. I got a job in New Zealand, and it's the positive thing. But a negative, at some point, negative. It's multicultural as well inside, and obviously those type of cultures at some point, not pointing to anything, but sometimes have clashes, and yeah, the boss is not Kiwi. She's Bulgarian, I think, and work colleagues are Indians and mixed. There's some Filipinos as well. Yeah, and even Filipinos doesn't mingle that well at some point, but so yeah.
My first job was in a restaurant. I got my job just 2 days before coming here. So after coming here, I arrived, maybe I was on Tuesday or Wednesday. My girlfriend was already working here when I arrived. But yeah, I think it was on Thursday, I tried to go to one restaurant and apply. I gave my CV. And yeah, they asked me to come on Friday for a trial. And it wasn't, that job, it was my first time working in hospitality, because I didn't have much experience working. I used to work in some pubs and something in Spain, but not much experience working in a restaurant, for example. It was a good experience, to be honest. I was there for 3 months. Yeah, they were really, they obviously understand that it was my first job in hospitality. They taught me a lot. And yeah, and they make that first job easier, So yeah, I think it was a good experience. Obviously, for example, at the beginning, I wasn't enough confident to talk with a customer and everything. But after 3 months, they taught me and everything. They taught me. After 1 month working, I was able to talk with customers and get orders. Yeah, and everything. It was fine. It was a good experience, definitely. Yeah.
So in my first job, I worked at events, I worked at concerts and sports games and things, and I got to see a lot of really cool acts. So I got to see some really cool concerts like Ed Sheeran and Adele, and got to experience some really amazing stuff. Downside, I've had a couple of questionable experiences working in that customer-facing position. I guess one downside, one specific experience that I do remember is I was working as an usher and had to tell this older gentleman that he had to go back to his seat because he wasn't allowed to stand in the aisle for a fire hazard safety kind of thing. And he kind of looked at me, and then he looked at someone else and looked back at me and was like, "Do you speak English?" So that's really stuck with me. Even though obviously I do speak English, but I'm sure he just didn't really like to be told what to do by someone who was younger. But I guess to bring that angle into it was a bit uncalled for. But yeah, so a lot of customers and patrons and things were really lovely and really appreciated the help and the service that we provided, but there were definitely other people that were really not that pleasant to deal with.
So when I got here, I was lucky to be a resident, so I could do any job. I wasn't restricted by a work visa. So I was doing support work, which was working with special needs people in their homes, helping them learn basic life skills and that kind of thing. I also did some care work. So if somebody had an operation or broken a leg or anything, I'd go into their home and help them do their basic showering and grooming, and also help with dinner prep.
My first job here was IT or sort of a technical lead role in an internet cafe. So that was my first job, and the positive thing is I got to know lots of people, the people who are actually Kiwis and islands, and they're quite nice. They'll try to ask you questions, and that's a very positive side.